Hello and welcome to the first Queensland racing preview for Racing Rant. I'm Ollie Hopkins, the form analyst / mounting yard judge for Racing Rant in Queensland. We thought it'd be a reasonable idea to put together just a short preview show for Queensland Saturday Metropolitan Racing each week. We're going to just try and keep it to the 2-minute mark. I am known to waffle though, so it may extend. In these previews, I'm probably just going to preview maybe 1-2 races that I'm interested in or that I've keen to bet into, or maybe a couple of horses that I'm keen to see on the track on Saturday, and just sort of get my thoughts out there on a couple before I get there and see them in the mounting yard. Currently, I'm flying solo on this episode, but if this comes out as awkward as it feels, we may invest in a host, but we'll see how that goes. Without further ado, we'll get to the racing this weekend. It's at Eagle Farm, the highly publicised Eagle Farm. We've got the rail out 7 metres here. Now, this track, it's a track I actually really enjoy betting at, which isn't, I don't think, common in a lot of Brisbane racing analysts. I feel like I've got a pretty good handle on track, pretty good handle on the type of horses that go well at Eagle Farm. The pattern of the track in recent times has sort of switched, sort of in the maybe past month and a half. Historically, it's been a really sort of, you could win from anywhere. It wasn't a serious advantage to be on pace like it is at most tracks. In recent times, there has been a distinct advantage to be on pace. We were here a week ago, last Saturday. Rail was out 5 metres there. No horse won from worse than 5th in the field. The tempos on the day probably did benefit those on speed, but I still think there was an advantage to be up there. Rail goes out 2 metres to the 7 metre mark. In previewing the meeting, I've sort of leaned towards the track playing that same way, but I think, particularly at Eagle Farm, you need to be able to adapt. Just going to preview the one race today, and that's race 3 at Eagle Farm, which is Class 3 set weights fillies and mares race over 1,200 metres. Market, we've got Dubai Pride and Lasting Kiss, which share favouritism, about $4 the pair. We've got Palaszczuk, talk about topical, there's a topical name for you, Palaszczuk at $6, Undeniable at $8, KWT back from his suspension, and Bafana at $9.50. Bit of a tricky map here. I've just rabbited on about how I'm sort of leaning to it being on speed. Not a great deal of speed. The horses that probably likely to be up on the speed: Daintree Diva, Lasting Kiss from the wide barrier, Undeniable, Dubai Pride, maybe Power Boom can use the inside gate. I just don't know whether that horse actually has the tactical speed. Then there's sort of a question mark. Well, there's a question mark for me around the horse that I actually like in this race, which is number 7, Bafana. It's got a wide gate here, and the horse doesn't have a great deal of tactical speed, but in a race so devoid of speed such as this, with Lasting Kiss drawn inside it, I'm really hoping that it can get a toe across and sit in that first sort of 3 pairs, one off the fence. If that's the case, I think the $9.50 that's currently on offer is an absolute gift. I'm not really knocking the two in the market in Lasting Kiss and Dubai Pride. They're both, running exceptionally. Dubai Pride last start ran very well over a distance that probably turned out to be unsuitable, which is 1,300 metres behind Eloquently. They've ran a pretty decent figure. I think it was close to a career peak for this horse. Ran a pretty decent figure there. Comes back to the 1,200, which is a massive tick. Carl to Jaden Lloyd, particularly with the claim, is a big tick as well. I just thought $4 is close enough to its right price. I've got it marginally longer. The other horse in the market is Lasting Kiss. Now, this horse is out of out of Dubai Pride Bafana in itself, it's most likely to be closer to the speed, I'd suggest. It's been running some serious figures, particularly last start where it was wide the trip and really fought on well. They cleared out from the rest with more than number one, Michael Costa horse. The stable's absolutely flying there. The obvious question for this horse is it jumps 5 kilos in weight into this. Now, 1,200 metres, I don't consider that to be a huge deal, but this horse is, it's not a small, it's a neat sort of horse. I think that 5 kilo jumps actually is really going to impact it, and its ability to use sort of its weapon, which is sustained speed. Sort of left me with Bafana. Now, $9.50 I think is a really good price, this horse. It changed stables 3 starts ago from the out of form Edmund stable to Lindsay Hatch, which, is, I'd consider to be a stable upgrade. Lindsay Hatch is one of the best stables in Queensland, there's no doubt about that. And since that change, this horse has been absolutely airborne. Its win at Ipswich, it's run insane figures, particularly its closing sectionals were exceptional. Then came out at Ippy again, and with Angela Jones on board. Now, if you're a Rant member, which you all should be, Angela Jones has been pretty topical on the show recently. The Glenn's just got some opinions there. Now, this horse drew barrier 1 there with Angela Jones on board. It was up against the likes of Nauticus and a Rebel Salute. Now, Nauticus is a bit of a boyfriend of mine, or was. I think it bled that day and has subsequently been retired. Angela Jones barrier 1 against the likes of Nauticus and Rebel Salute. I was very keen to be against this horse in that race. Thank God Nauticus somehow won. Rebel Salute ran a very good second and has subsequently came out yesterday, that's Wednesday, and won very well in town. With all that considered, Bafana definitely should have won that race, no doubt. I think the horse just got sort of buried on the rail. Didn't have the speed to go with them early, then sort of got buried on the rail, never really got clear. Was really good past the post. Goes from Angela Jones to Malian, who's riding really well recently. Malian and Hatch combine very well together. They're running at about, I think it's a 46% pot when the two combine in recent times, which is exceptional. And that's over a pretty decent sample size as well. $9.50 floating around now, I think, is a huge price. Particularly if Malian can get it out and get it in that first sort of 3 pairs, I'll be very happy with the price taken, $9.50. So yeah, that's the horse I'm probably looking to tip into early. There's really not much else on the card, so I had pretty slim pickings. So yeah, hopefully the horse comes out and parades well on Saturday. If you're interested in getting my mounting yard stuff through a Racing Rant, just go on to racingrant.com.au, sign up for a gold package and download the app, and you'll get all my mounting yard stuff to your phone 4 minutes before the jump. But probably the real value in the Racing Rant membership is you get, I think it's up to like 3 or 4 shows a week with Mark Lambourne, Glenn Pollitt, and Gordo. I think it's Gordon Sullivan. And that content is just exceptional. If you're sort of new to the game, in particular, the amount of pearls that you'll pick up from these blokes is incredible, and their analysis is exceptional. Pearl is on an absolute heater at the moment. His midweek set at Warwick Farm was exceptional. So yeah, get on board racingrant.com.au and have a good weekend.